So long, OBL. Osama bin Laden is toast, as you know by now, deep at the bottom of the ocean, or the sea, or somewhere. They're not really telling us where, and I guess it doesn't really matter. It's Congressman Mike Rogers, the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, is with us this morning. I just wanted to ask you a couple more quick questions. One of them is, just looking at the transcript of the president's speech the other night that happened Sunday night, it says, and I'm just going to read a couple of quick passages, "I can report to the American people. Shortly after taking office, I directed Leon Panetta to make the capture or kill of bin Laden a top priority. I was briefed on a possible lead to bin Laden. It was far from certain. I met repeatedly with the national security team. I determined we had enough intelligence to take action. Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation." Is he going too far? Is he trying too hard to take credit for this?
Yes.
It seemed like it to me.
That's just so ridiculous. I will tell you that, and listen, the president should, he gave the green light to go when the level of intelligence reached a place where a lot of people, me included, believed there was enough information that it was Osama bin Laden. And, it's never quite clear. But this started 4 years ago. And it started 4 years ago on a tip of someone who was in detention who gave us information. And if you recall, the president spent a lot of time trying to make sure that we don't have the ability to get information from people who are in detention.
Yeah.
And that was 4 years ago. This was long in the making. And it took arduous work. And I guess what frustrates me about that is the work of our intelligence community and the Special Forces troops that went in were fantastic, great trained, Hollywood stuff. The work that led up to that was simply amazing, and it included all of our intelligence agencies' participation. The CIA, imagine some interrogator debriefing a detainee who just gave us a nickname of somebody that they believed was in the courier business for Osama bin Laden, and they use something called cutouts. So a courier might meet somebody that they don't ever know their name, give them a piece of information, and that cutout goes to another cutout who gives that piece of information to somebody they don't know. And so it's very difficult to track back to Osama bin Laden. It was a very well done operation. And over the course of those 4 years, they built from a nickname of somebody that's somewhere in the Middle East. And they built a case, and they got closer and closer and closer until they were able to find this compound based on that little scrap of information that they built into an entire case. It took years of arduous analytical work, intelligence work, and everybody came together, the National Geospatial Agency, the National Security Agency. And to say that it was because Obama got elected is as crazy as me saying it's because I became chairman in January that we got this guy, Osama bin Laden. I mean, it's just not logical that you could go there. This was a long process to find this guy and to bring him to justice.
Yeah, I think, the two most bold are to say that when he was elected, he directed Leon Panetta, the CIA director, to make the finding of bin Laden a top priority, as if it wasn't before. That seems a little disingenuous. And then the line, too, "Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation." I don't think he was, drawing up the play in the dirt. That's what he makes it sound like.
Yeah, no, he did give the green light. He said yes. I mean, he should have stood up and said yes. I gave,
Yeah, but
I authorized this to happen, and he would have been right, and that's right. And it was a day he should have celebrated as a part of an American national security victory. But this whole I thing was a little bit much. I mean, given all of the work that all of these people went to, and some of the risk that went involved in getting this information and putting it together. And it was a puzzle. I mean, this guy was very difficult to find, given the way he operated. And it was really a kudo for them. And, the operation's been in works, as I said, for years. There was a special unit isolated at the agency when this thing started to take shape a couple of years ago, that so they could start tracking all of the information. So there was just a few people in the agency that even knew all of this information in one place. Other people knew about information, but it all came to one place, and they had a group of analysts and case officers just sitting in this room every day trying to take any little tidbit and find anything we could. And that that happened before the president was there, and it was ongoing, and it's just a little. I think it's offensive for the men and women who did so much that they were just sitting around eating bonbons until the president called and said, "Oh, gee, that's a good idea. Let's go get Osama bin Laden."
I understand now that he's going to give a speech at the Ground Zero site this week. That's going, to me, I'm not being partisan. I just think it smacks of gloating and political opportunism. Am I wrong?
Well, listen, the one thing, as I told the agency personnel yesterday, I had a great chance to meet with a bunch of them yesterday and thanked them for their service. It's something that nobody else gets to do because they can't know who they are. But and this is why they're such a good and committed and dedicated bunch. They did have a day to celebrate. I mean, it was hard work, a great victory, I think, for them and the intelligence service, and more importantly, the United States. But today, when they woke up, we have other targets out there that are equally as dangerous, and we need to get back to work. And so I worry a little bit about this, the gloating of this. I mean, it was great. It was fantastic. It was all the players worked exceptionally well together, from an intelligence analyst to an NSA analyst to the SOCOM guys who breached the wall and went in and did some dangerous work and came home safely, by the way. All of that worked exceptionally well. We should be proud of that. Now we need to start working again on the next target, and we'll have victory when you sustain something like this. If you get the big guy, now you get Zawahiri, then you get Alaki, or in any order of those, and just keep dismantling them. That's when you get out and take your victory lap. This smacks a little bit of mission accomplished. It's not.
Thank you very much for the valuable time this morning and for being with us so early, and we'll talk to you soon. Travel safely.
Hey, thanks, Michael.
Congressman Mike Rogers, the chair of the House Intelligence Committee. Very, very candid interview this morning. It's Michael Patrick Shields.